A lot of you guys have recently been asking me why I stopped talking about certain fragrances, ones that I mentioned a lot in my previous videos. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about why I stopped talking about some of my favorite fragrances. If you guys have been with me for a while, you will know some of these longtime favorites of mine. And today I'm gonna cover them and what went wrong, if something even did. By the way, if you're brand new here and this is the first video that you're clicking, my name is Yana. This is The Scented. Welcome. I'm glad that you found me. We do tons of fun fragrance things, so stick around, hit that sub button, and we'll do them together. The very first fragrance that I want to mention is La Petite Robe Noire Eau Fraîche, a tongue twister of a long name, and probably why it got discontinued. I'm just kidding. That's not the reason it got discontinued. I have no idea why it got discontinued, but it is the sad truth, and that is why I stopped talking about it. It recently was still available on fragrancenet.com, but I have not seen it available. I managed to track myself a backup bottle of this scent secondhand, but I think it is getting very, very hard to find nowadays. So that is the reason why I stopped talking about it. I do still absolutely love it. And for those of you guys who are not familiar with the scent, this is very much the La Petite Robe Noire DNA, but a lot lighter and with an added soft, fresh pistachio note. It has citruses and pistachios amped up in the scent, but not a pistachio that is like sweet and candy coated. No, this is more of a creamy, gentle, soft pistachio. I love the soft green color of the bottle, and to this day it remains one of my favorite freshies, but I just feel like it's not fair for those of you guys that become interested in a fragrance and then want to try it or just buy it outright and are not able to find it. By the way, all of the fragrances that I'm mentioning here are available on my Decant shop, thescented.ca. So if you wanted to check any of these scents out, you could do so. I'll make sure that's linked in the description for you. You'll notice I haven't mentioned one of my signature scents lately, and that is Byredo's Bal d'Afrique, a scent that makes me so happy. It has marigold, vetiver, and it's just like the most delectable lotion ever. And the only reason for that is that simply my bottle is empty, and I'm currently using the hair mist, which just doesn't look as presentable and nice as the bottle itself. So until I get a nice new bottle, plus it hasn't really fit into some of the fragrance videos that I've done lately. I've been focusing a little bit more on some new releases, but it is still a diehard love, and I'm simply just using the fragrance hair mist. Alien from Mugler. I once said Alien until death, and I guess I lied because unfortunately I'm just steering away from the scent. I do love the original formulation, and that is what I'm using a lot of, but I'm so disheartened by the current formulation by L'Oreal that it's just left me disappointed. So what I have in here, as you'll see, it is a dark liquid, and that comes from a refill bottle from the Thierry Mugler original formulation. You'll know it's the original when it says Thierry Mugler instead of just Mugler. When it went to Mugler, it was owned by Clarins or Clarin, and now it's owned by L'Oreal. So there's a thing on the bottom of the bottle that'll say something like manufactured for CFG. The L'Oreal one won't say that. I don't know what the L'Oreal one says, but you will know because it smells like water and a little bit of jasmine that's soapy. It does not have the same alien DNA. So once my real true alien runs out, I'm going to be switching to alternatives like Memo Paris Flamme and Glamour from M. Micallef. YSL Manifesto. This is still my favorite vanilla fragrance. It has a really beautiful note of blackcurrant or cassis. It gives it a little bit of tanginess. It is still powdery, and it feels like the most comforting hug. I love the scent, and my man loves the scent, and he hates vanilla. So this one and the L'Eclat are still like my ride or dies, but once my backups are over, that's it, because they're kaput, they're gone, there's no more. And unless you can like track it down, which is becoming increasingly more difficult, it's like it's gonna be gone pretty soon. So I don't really talk about this fragrance anymore, only for that reason. Same thing with the Guerlain. Did I call it Mon Guerlain earlier? If I did, let me know, because yeah, the Guerlain names are just so long that I sometimes get them twisted. In my earlier videos, I also used to mention a lot Kate Walsh Boyfriend, and this is still one of the best celebrity fragrances that I've ever smelled. It's a warm myrrh scent, and smelling it out of here, I do really, really like it. It smells very niche, very unique, and very high quality. It's a great, great scent. It almost has a touch of nuttiness to it. I think I just put it on the side because I must have gotten a little bit sick of it. And truthfully, must have forgot that I own it because I put it on one of my organizers that's made for nail polishes. It's thin enough to fit in there and it's stacked and like multi-tiered, and I really have a problem with object permanence where if it's not directly in front of my face, I forget it exists. And when I was preparing for this video, I like sifted through everything very thoroughly and I was like, wait a minute, I used to talk about this one all the time. And yeah, it's simply because I got tired of it for a while, tucked it away, and forgot that I own it. But as a fragrance, it is an excellent fragrance, and to this day, I'll say one of the best celebrity scents I've ever smelled. Coco Mademoiselle from Chanel, and I do have this monstrous, huge bottle. I like this scent, and I do wear it occasionally, but I have been switching more to Coco Noir. I've become a little bit more sensitive to the scent. It gives me a little bit of a headache. Plus, we already know about it. Everybody talks about it, and everybody probably owns a bottle of this scent. I feel like people that are starting off in fragrance probably already know about the scent or have heard about it or have seen it or have tried it. So I almost feel it's a little bit redundant to mention this. I just don't like to be too repetitive. I think I've talked about it enough and everybody already knows it that I don't need to talk about it more. But for those of you who don't know, it is a really nice compliment getting, noticeable, quite loud scent of citrus, rose, and patchouli. It's one of the more youthful offerings from Chanel and a great starting point for people that are just venturing into fragrance that do want to smell noticeable, feminine, and get the occasional compliment here and there. This will do that for you. I don't think I've talked about this one too much except mentioning it occasionally and really expressing my love for the scent, but this is Fendi Theorema, and I have another bottle of it that is smaller. This is a discontinued gem that smells absolutely incredible. If you like L'Ambre de Merveille from Hermes, this is kind of like that. It has this kind of candied citrus scent and lots of spices and amber. It's so beautiful. I can make this available on my Decant shop. If you guys do want to try this, I have a little bit to spare and I can put a limited quantity. If you guys do want to try it, leave me a comment down below and I can make it available. I've just kind of been gatekeeping it and like savoring it, but I'm really happy to share if you guys are interested in checking this out. Next is Narciso Essence. This is one of my favorites from Narciso. It is a beautiful soapy musk scent. It is quite strong, and oversprayed it can be a headache inducing scent. But again, I stopped talking about it because it's discontinued and almost impossible to find. I do have a backup, and again, this is on the Decant shop for anyone trying to find it or sample it. But essentially, it is like a more amped up version of like Narciso's Pure Musk. If you like that, this is a way better version of it. And I smell a rubbery note in Pure Musk. I don't smell it in here. This is just pure, beautiful, crisp, like iridescent, sparkling, clean musk. This bottle is perfectly suited to the scent. I haven't mentioned Ocean de Joya for a while, even though I included it in my 5 fragrances that every woman needs, and I still think that this is the most beautiful freshie. It's aquatic, it's a pear scent. It's like you just washed your hair with a delicious shampoo and you're standing out on a balcony near water and it's wafting through the breeze, and it just smells serene and beautiful. I don't talk about it as well because I've heard that it's been discontinued, and I actually felt really bad mentioning it in that video because then I didn't realize that it had been discontinued, and after I heard that it is and only see 50 mils available through Armani, I'm like, uh-oh, like it's on its way out. So anyway, if you guys like a nice aquatic scent, grab this now while it's still available, because once it's gone, I'm not sure how available or affordable it will be. But I do really, really like this, and it's one of my absolute favorite aquatics. And lastly, this may come as a surprise to you guys, but MFK Oud Satin Mood. While I still love this scent, and I think it's one of the best oud fragrances with rose, I have found a replacement that is way better for me, and it is Roja Parfums Amber Oud Crystal. So the scent is the same as the dark liquid, but they've formulated it to be clear so that it doesn't stain your clothing. And this oud is extremely similar to the oud in here. But to me, this smells more high quality, more refined, and less sweet, which can become a problem when I wear Oud Satin Mood. I have to be very careful with this scent, and like I mentioned in a previous video, I wore it to an event with food, so like a dinner event, and it kind of got nauseating because I couldn't really enjoy my food because all I could smell was this, and even though it is incredibly beautiful, this scent is a lot easier to tolerate in those situations where you are eating. It's less of that sweet rose. I don't think there's any vanilla in here. It's benzoin in here that gives this powdery cloud effect. There's a little bit of fig in here. I hardly pick up the fig. For me, it's mostly about the oud, that nice benzoin note, and the rose. And so in the type of scent that it is extremely similar to this, but I have completely switched over to this for my fancy special occasion oud, and it is at the moment my favorite oud fragrance by far. Performance is still very strong, not quite as strong as Oud Satin Mood, but still very strong. And honestly, Oud Satin Mood is a little bit too strong for me sometimes in terms of performance. So those are all the fragrances that I stopped talking about and why. And I have a question for you guys. Do you still want me to mention some of these fragrances as honorable mentions in my videos where I see them fitting? Or do you think that it is better for me to sort of phase them out, especially the ones that are the discontinued ones that are getting increasingly hard to find? Because again, my main reasoning is that I don't want to put you on something that you're then going to find on eBay for like $300. I don't want to do that to you and make you go on a wild goose chase to find a fragrance that's not available. Anyway, let me know what you'd like to see from me in that regard, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.